Is the Nigerian Senate falling apart? That's what everyone seems to be asking. Plus, Nigerians are indeed surprised. For many, it's not a case of being surprised. It seems to be the norm. While for others, it's a case of someone being shortchanged and therefore has come to the fore to say, I am going to speak. But you see, all these forms the conversation that we've been having from early hours of today up until now. Kingsley, Chime, a legal practitioner and political analyst, joins me now as we touch on this current situation. Thank you so much for being here, Kingsley.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Mr. Chime, let's go straight to what's been going on right there and what we saw yesterday, the drama that played out, plus the reactions that this has been getting. First off, how will this impact, especially on the Senate, and then, of course, on Nigerians, looking at it from a legal point of view?
Thank you so much once more for having me. You know, the issue of budget tampering or budget padding has always been a recurrent decimal in Nigerian politics. Just a few years ago, I think in 2016, the same issue of allegation of over 400 billion was padded in the budget. At the end of the day, nothing came out of it. And in this instance, a serving senator has alleged that about 3 trillion naira was surreptitiously, included the budget that was presented and passed by the Senate. So, but these issues are something that is very, very any reasonable person should take serious. But we are here deliberating, arguing for back and forth, and then one would think that if a senator has alleged that over 3 trillion naira was padded in the budget, what is the proper thing to do in the circumstance? Ordinarily, the security agencies ought to have been invited to scrutinize and investigate the veracity and or otherwise of this allegation. But that has not been done. Otherwise, what we are seeing is that both the members of the Senate, are making counter accusations and accusing each other of whatever they want to make of it. But the point is that from the explanation of budget committee, they have tried to provide an alibi or a defense that what Mr. President proposed in the budget was about 27.5 trillion naira. And then they decided on their own, that is their own admission, they decided on their own to increase it to about 28.7 trillion naira. They have not explained to Nigerians on whose directive they are acting upon. If the executive that prepared the budget and made that proposal to the Senate, in their wisdom, has factored in all the indices and factors that will move Nigerian economy forward, and the senators decided on their own, like Father Christmas, to increase the budget that the executive has presented for their consideration. You can make of it whatever you want from this. That is the position of the senators as we speak. While the senator who raised this dust is insisting that a lot of things went underground. So, like I said, it will have a far-reaching implication, not just on the senators. Of course, they are alleging that their integrity is being undermined, but that is on the periphery. The question is about the transparency in government and how Nigerians are going to key in the development that this administration intends to move Nigeria forward. If from the budget of the the first budget that this government is being implemented is now being riddled with a lot of controversies and allegations, I think the proper thing is for security agencies to wade in and investigate this allegation.
All right, Mr. Chime, because of our want of time, I just need you to quickly do this for us. Where do you see this story going? Where do you see it? Where would it go to? Where would it lead to? What's the focus? Just briefly, let us know.
The simple truth is that it will lead to nowhere. It's going to lead to nowhere. Like I said in my introductory speech, this is not the first time. And at the end of the day, the whole thing will die down. I will move on like nothing happens. Nigerians will have short attention span. Nobody's going to ask questions about it. From this suspension, the man may be recalled and life moves on, or they will have a justification for the tinkering or padding of the budget, and life moves on. That is the kind of politics we operate. That's the kind of system we find ourselves. So, but we are hopeful that this government will have the willpower to investigate this allegation, if at all they are not culpable or complicit in it.
All right. We did see Senator Okoyemi Bamidele from Ekiti Central Senatorial District. He also happens to be the Senate Majority Leader. He did say during the entire conversation that there are a group of persons that want to remove, just to make it quite simpler, the current sitting Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio. Let's take a look at this, and I'd like your reaction to this as well.
Distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi, who I respect so well, planned to do or set out to do was tantamount to a civilian coup.
All right. So he called it civilian coup, what we're seeing. In other words, what Senator Ningi and the others are playing, he tagged it as a civilian coup, which is what we saw. What's your take on that?
I don't think that is correct. These are just diversionary issues. Politics, there's always a political angle to every issue. Anybody can decide to take advantage of the situation. But this is not about who is trying to do civilian coup. These are parliamentarians. These are one of their key functions or responsibilities for them to scrutinize the budget and ensure that the implementation is followed through. So if someone has raised such allegation, it must and should be investigated. So whatever is the internal political rumbling going on within the parliamentarian seat, that is for them to deal with. But we are concerned about the sanctity and transparency of governance, particularly with respect to the budgetary provisions that have been passed recently by the president. That should be the focus, and not necessarily who is trying to remove who and who is trying to take over whose position. For me, that is beside the point.
All right. There was also this conversation about 500 million being shared, being shared amongst a few, and Senator Jarigbe did make that statement, said he it didn't come to him. From your own perspective, I'd like you to put on your political hat here as an analyst, as a political analyst. What do you make of that statement in a house that is made up of representatives from different political parties, the NNPP, the Labour Party, the PDP, and so on? But let's take a listen to what he said, and then I'd like your reaction to my question.
If we want to go into those issues, all of us are culpable. Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get. Did I go to the press? Most of you got. And yes, if we want to go into those issues, excuse me, if we want to go into those issues, yes. So I think that Senator Ningi,
I'm seeing about again. I know I drive somewhere.
That conversation, his microphone went off, reminiscent of your mic. Your thoughts on that very quickly as we wrap up.
Yes, okay, let me take the last comment, the reminiscence of your mic. Of course, the microphone didn't go off intentionally. Somebody must have tinkered with it somehow because of the revelations, witty revelations the man was making. And that is the point. The truth is that the devil is in the details. There are a whole lot of things going on which is not in the public domain and which may never be in the public domain. Someone stood up in the house to accuse. In fact, it's a direct indictment for all the members seated there that some of them collected 500 billion or 500 million, whatever. The purpose for which that money was given was not clarified, But that shows you the kind of politics, we run in Nigeria. Because we could not get in details what the man was trying to say, because it was interrupted at some point. I won't be able to speak, directly on what may have necessitated that. But the point is that it boils down to, the kind of leadership, the kind of leaders we elect, to represent us at different levels. If the budget we are dealing with, and some people have started receiving, I don't know whether it is that appreciation for a job well done, or for them to continue. Is it like constituency projects that they shared? Really, the budget was passed.
All right.
So this is not in the public domain. The devil remains in the
all right. Kingsley Chime, legal practitioner and political analyst, thank you for joining us. We look forward to have you again, as we understand that there will be an unfolding drama or story after this, since they're meeting with the president, #1 citizen of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.